Hello friends and potential friends. Been a while since I've shown you what's going on in the garden, so I figured I'd start out here in the front yard with my GreenStalk vertical planter. As you can see, it's still got a lot going on in it. There's a bunch of mint down there in the bottom tier. Next tier up has got some marigolds and some what is that, sage? Lots of sage. There's still a radish or two in there. Pardon the loud exhaust pipes. The Daytona Beach area is hosting another super spreader event we lovingly call Biketoberfest. The city of Daytona and the city of Ormond Beach both tried to cancel it, but they don't seem to understand. They don't control it. It's controlled by the bikers, and the bikers are coming to town no matter what. Pardon me, I had to get some sand spurs out of my flip-flops. But anyway, so we got a lot of loud pipes in town this weekend. There's a radish. I've been pulling sage off of this like there's no tomorrow, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And then at the very top here, I think I mentioned probably a month or so ago that I was going to put some datil peppers in here. That way they're away from any other peppers, and whatever fruit I get off of them, I should be able to get some good seeds. Well, I'm getting some fruit off of them. There's a couple on there. I know there was another one over on the far side. There's a nice one right there. It'll be turning colors before too long. Again, pardon the interruption. I'm right close to the river here, and it seems like every biker that comes to town has to ride up and down the Riverside Drive, so I get to listen to them all night long. But we're used to that around here. Anyway, that's the GreenStalk planter. I probably should take this apart before too long and get it ready for a winter crop. I'm thinking I might put a bunch of lettuce in here, various Swiss chard, various things like that. But I'll be keeping those peppers for as long as they keep producing. I'm going to let them keep growing. And the nice thing is, I've hardly got any whiteflies out here. Whiteflies got all of my peppers in the backyard. But that's the GreenStalk planter. And let's see, over here on the side of the house, this is where I hide a bunch of papayas. I think I got 5 of them in here. They don't get nearly enough sunlight, so they don't grow real good here. They just basically just get morning sunlight. But they're still growing, and I didn't have any place else to put them, so that's where they're at. And back here on the patio, got my usual assortment of container crops. Ponderosa lemons down there on the floor. See, my no heat habanero is still producing. Still has flowers on it. The mulberry is growing new leaves. Another papaya that I didn't have any place else to put. There's my pomegranates, are still growing pretty good. A couple of last year's lemons. There's one of last year's lemons in a 6-inch pot. I need to get that in the ground somewhere. Elderberry's still doing pretty good. Got some more mint up here, segregated from everything else. Basil's giving it up. The ginger is starting to look a little bit worse for wear, but it's still growing pretty good. I don't think I'm going to be harvesting any of that this year. I'm going to just leave it in there in these pots and see what happens next year. Turmeric is doing okay. I will be digging some of that up because I need some more in the house. And rosemary, papaya, still a few peppers hanging on in this bed. They haven't been producing much. I have gotten a couple more Jimmy Nardellos off of those in the last week or two. Pineapple plantation is still doing good. My little Mexican avocado down there is looking good so far. I've gotten a little bit of okra, but to be honest, I planted these too late in the season. It's already cooling off here in Daytona. It's only in the low 80s today. I was looking at my records. I got my weather station a year ago in October. And in the last 2 weeks of October last year, we had 5 days that went above 90 degrees. This year so far, we've only had 2 days in October above 90 degrees, and the last of those was about a week and a half ago. So it's actually turning into fall here, running in the low to mid 80s every day. We were getting some rain, but that last hurricane, Delta I think it was, pulled all the water out of the air, so our humidity is only about 65 or 70% now. Actually feels pretty good out here. Do have a little bit of okra still popping up, but I'm going to be leaving those on there and letting them dry so I can get some seeds for next year. I'll try to do this for real next year, see if I can get a good crop out of them. And something, hang on to your seats, you don't see this very often. The raised beds. I've got this first one ready to go. In fact, that was the purpose of this video. I'll be putting something in there in a few minutes. The middle one, I just pulled up the last of my peppers out of here today. So I need to add some more soil to that and get it ready to go. All that's growing in there right now is a little bit of purslane. I just couldn't bring myself to cut that off. But I'll probably move that to another spot. And then this last bed I've got set up ready for tomatoes. I'll be doing my winter crop of tomatoes in here pretty soon. I think you may have seen some of the sprouts and seedlings that I've got coming up in the lab, but another week or two I'll be putting those out here. So right now all I've got growing is my usual volunteer sweet potatoes. Obviously, I missed a couple more when I was digging sweet potatoes this year. So, what the heck, I'll let them go. Out across the back, got my little moringa, my gardenia bush, my Florida avocado. That one's doing pretty good still. There's last year's lemon tree, about 2.5, 3 feet tall. The loquat that I planted last year. And then my original Ponderosa lemon, which still has some lemons on it. There's one there, one up here. And I'm sure I've seen a couple more. Yeah, there's one up there. Still producing lemons. And back here in the mini orchard, papaya's growing pretty good. It's already caught up with those ones on the side of the house because it gets a lot more sunlight out here than those ones do back there. I snagged the box on my fig tree when I was mowing the other day and tore it up. Haven't put it back together yet. Still no bees moved into my yard, Art. Sugarcane doing pretty good still. There's my Ponderosa lemon. It's about almost 2 feet tall now. My blueberry back here. And then back in the corner we got the big moringa. About 10, 12 feet tall. I really should cut the top off of that and plant it. Maybe harvest a few leaves off of it. And then down at the base I put a bunch of acorn squash in, and somehow I didn't kill them. Most of them are still alive, so we'll see if we get anything out of those. They were starting to flower when I had them in the, oh yeah, there's a flower. When I had them in the lab they started flowering. But yeah, there's a flower forming. I see a couple more getting closer to them. So, got to do some weeding in here too. But we might get some acorn squash out of that deal. I can't resist looking in the compost pile. As you can see, I got a bunch of peppers I just put in there this morning. And a bunch of sweet potato vines that are still growing from when I put them in here a month or so ago. Alright, at the moment I don't see anything else that I recognize in here. But I keep checking because you never know what you're going to find in the compost pile. But it's a nice day in Central Florida. Nice breeze. Temperatures in the low 80s. Humidity is only about 70 or 75%. Motorcycles are running all over town. Let me wrap this up. I got to go get my implements of destruction. And I'm going to do a bit of an experiment. Oh, there's someone trying to sell Bud Light. Don't know whether you can see that. I'm sure you can hear it. Yeah, there he is coming out from behind the tree with a big Bud Light sign flying along behind him. Welcome to Daytona. So let me wrap this up and go get my tripod and a few other things, because I've got an experiment I want to do. So until then, I'll see you in the next video.